Guys, come look at the Homie Hauler.
Dude, this is sick.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to the 20th Joy of Painting series. Son of a gun, it's hard for me to believe this is the 20th series, but it is, and I'd like to thank you very much for inviting me back for another series of paintings.
Once was a killer and I got a bunch of clips. Run up in your shit, gonna let you take a dip in my evil fantasy. Won't you run and come with me to the deep, deep part of more than you can see. I'm a ghost, I'm a demon, and I'm seeking when you're dreaming for a new cause. Hit the pause, looking for a new jaw. Break it with the bed while your pussy's trying to slay. I'm the Freddie main, fuck the game, looking for a new bang. Oh shit, what the hell you talking about, bitch? It's the new way, Freddie main, about to make a separate lane. Oh my god, you's a bitch, motherfucker. Why you try to play me like a bitch, motherfucker? Hold this buster in the cut, about to come and fuck her up. Freddie know there's something up, and you know I'm about to bust. Oh my god, you's a bitch, motherfucker. Why you try to play me like a bitch, motherfucker?
Okay, so I bought a van. Ever since I started building my car, which we're going to take a break from the build series, I kind of got burnt out on editing that footage. Not because it wasn't fun, but just because it was just video after video of stuff that had already happened, and I wanted to do something new. So what better video to do than to explain my new car? Ever since I started building my car, and I was putting all of this money into all of the expensive parts and making it into a car that I wanted to put in showcases. I wouldn't really consider it a show car because it's not like beyond perfect. It's a show car for a 20-year-old kid. I'm 22. I just turned 22 last week, and yeah, like I can't afford a perfect, pristine show car. But that car has been my daily for the past 5 years, and after I was putting all of these parts and stuff on it, I was thinking, man, I need another car. So, another thing when you're building a stance car, especially with mine being static and I want to go lower and lower and lower and lower until I'm scraping the ground literally everywhere I go. Don't ask me why, it's just what I want to do. But if I'm doing that and I want to take it to these events, it's really hard to take it to those events and just drive it there. And for the longest time, I planned on getting just like a Civic or something, like an EG or an EK hatch, and just dailying that, maybe putting some coilovers on it and making it like a backroads car. And I really, really wanted to do that, and I still might in the future. But one of the main things that I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to trailer my car. That would be the ultimate daily. I have a car that I can drive every single day, and then when I need to, it can pull my show car. But if you've ever looked at trucks, if you've ever decided that you wanted to buy a truck, you would know that trucks are incredibly expensive. Especially when you look at trucks that are capable of towing big loads, diesel trucks, and they are even more incredibly expensive. So I was looking at older Cummins trucks and even Powerstrokes or Duramaxes. I was looking at everything. I was looking for a diesel, and they were just so incredibly out of my price range that it just couldn't happen. I could have done it, but it would have been like a year or two down the line before I was comfortable enough putting that much money away. So I started looking for gas trucks. It wasn't the best option, but I thought about getting a Tacoma or, I don't know, an F-150, something that was capable of towing, but it still wouldn't be good. I would still have this thought in the back of my head if I decided to go on a trip and take my car, that I don't know if this truck is going to be able to take it that far. It's not going to be good on gas, and I know that the tow capacity is not that good. So I started doing some research on what other people were doing, and I came across Heyyyy Garage's channel. And I will wholeheartedly say that Orion from Heyyyy Garage completely inspired this purchase. He completely inspired this purchase and this build. I wouldn't say that I'm going to do everything that he's done, but he was the main reason I did this. So I was looking on his channel, and they bought an old cargo van, I don't know what year it was, but it had the 7.3 Powerstroke in it, so it was a diesel, and they got it for super cheap. And he was explaining in the video that he got the van for, I think he didn't say he got it for more than $2,000, and then he had a trailer for another $1,000. So he said he was $3,000 into a tow rig, which I was like, holy crap, like I can do that. I 100% can do that. If I get a diesel van, it's literally the same as the truck, except it doesn't have a bed. So I went and bought a van. Got absolutely obsessed with this idea. I started researching vans and how much they cost and which was good, which was bad. I started looking at the powerstroke vans. Then I learned that the 7.3 is the better engine, the 6.0, 6 blows, which I've already had experience with that. My dad has a 6.0 F350, and we completely rebuilt that engine and bulletproofed it and whatnot, and we put a lot of time, work, and money into that truck. So I knew I didn't want a 6.0. So then I started looking at the LBZ Duramax vans, and I know that the LBZs, they're good engines and they're good trucks, but I just found in my research that the 7.3 was better. So I was pretty set on the 7.3, and then I started getting obsessed with the idea of people making these vans into campers. They take the van build and they completely convert the inside to have electricity or running water and a bed and a place to sleep. So you can drive it and you can live in the back. I started getting obsessed with the hashtag vanlife. But that wasn't the main purpose. I started getting this crazy idea in my head where I was like, oh my god, I'm going to take this van and I'm going to rebuild it and I'm going to make a camper and stuff out of it. And I still am. But I started getting obsessed with people doing it to like school buses. Gingium, Caleb, you are another main inspiration for this build. But people doing it to school buses or even retired ambulances. I started getting obsessed with the idea of these retired work vehicles that I could find for super cheap and converting them into what I needed, because they had the engine, they had the towing capacity and the livability that I wanted, and it was just a perfect candidate. So I started doing some research and I found a few vans. There was one in Nashville. I didn't actually get to go looking at it, but just for an idea, I found one in Nashville. It didn't look like it had any rust on it, but it had 290,000 miles on it. For a diesel, that's not an absolute crap ton, but for any car, that's a lot of miles. A diesel will last 500,000-600,000 if you really take care of them, but for an average car, that's a lot of miles. And it's not just the engine that I'm worried about. You also got to think about the suspension components and when they have been changed and just everything else. It's a car, and if it's been driven 300,000 miles, that's a lot of miles on the car. But I was doing some research and I came across this one. This one was perfect. It is a 03, so it is the latest year that I can get the 7.3 in it. It has 145,000 miles on it, which again is a lot for a car, but for a diesel, it's practically nothing. It's pretty much just getting broken in. It runs amazingly, but it has the 7.3, has 145,000 miles on it. It is the newest one that I can get that still has the 7.3 in it. It is a passenger van, so if you can see around me, it has windows all the way around, which I would have gotten a cargo van if I had to, but I wanted the passenger van for the windows because I wanted to be able to see out of it. It also a passenger van, so it has the panels on the side. If it was a cargo van, all of this would have just been blank metal, and I didn't really want that either. I am going to convert it, and all of this stuff is going to change, but for the time being that I can't convert it right now and I don't have the money to actually put into it, I actually have door cards and door panels and wall panels. I don't know what you would call it, but it has an interior, and that was a huge part for me. The only complaint I have about this entire van is the roof. I did end up looking at a same kind of van. It was a 7.3 E-Series van. It was a 98, so it still had the powerstroke engine. It had low mileage too, but it had a rear end that was going out, so that's why he was selling it really cheap. But it was an ambulance. It was a retired ambulance, and since it was an ambulance, I was going to rip the entire interior out anyways. It didn't matter. But since it's an ambulance, they worked inside of it, so it had the high top roof, which that is the only thing that I am kind of against on this van, is because I can't stand up, which sucks, but whatever. I know it doesn't do it justice on camera, but this van is huge in person. It's really, really big, especially if you look right here. If you look at this back window, the usual van ends right there, but this little back is the extended version. So it's not a 12 passenger van, it's actually a 15 passenger van. And that makes a big difference. But, okay, just vision this with me. I'm going to put examples up on the screen of what I want it to look like, but just picture this, okay? It's going to have a roof rack all the way from the rear to the front, okay? There's going to be a light bar on the front of the roof rack that projects forward. I'm still not sure what I want to do about the bumper. I've seen off-road bumpers that I think look pretty cool, but I don't know. These side steps have to go. They are extremely ugly. Those are easy. They'll just unbolt and I'll take them off. Whatever. Okay. Then rear bumper. They have these rear bumpers that look really sick. They're off-road, like big metal bumpers. They look badass. Then on the back doors, they have these boxes. They'll usually have like a spare tire that goes right here, and then a big ass box that just covers up this back door. So then essentially you have one door that swings open, another door that swings open, and then you have your back doors. So picture that, all this off-road utility stuff that actually can be used. But a lot of the time when people build these vans, they take them and they put the four-wheel drive conversion on them. As cool as that would be, I don't have the money for it. So unless somebody wants to sponsor me a four-wheel drive conversion, it's probably not going to happen, especially anytime soon. In the future, yes, I would love to do it, but right now, that is not my main purpose. Of course, I would love to be able to take this thing literally anywhere and use it as an adventure vehicle, but the main purpose of it is, and I keep having to tell myself, the main purpose of it is to be a daily and to haul this. So be a daily driver, be badass, be able to take camping trips in it. And also when I go to events, I don't have to worry about paying for a hotel. I can freaking go to a campsite and spend $20 and sleep inside my van and then wake up, shower, go to the event with my car. But besides the point, it is meant to be a daily, so I can park this thing for the winter. It is meant to be something that I can not give a shit about and just drive in the snow and in the salt and not really worry about it. But it's also meant to be a tow vehicle. That is the main purpose of it, is to be a tow vehicle. So I don't need the four-wheel drive conversion. I just need the rear-wheel drive. I do want to do the front-end conversion. It's not on the top of my list right now because I haven't been able to find one. I haven't really been looking. Again, I've only had it for 2 weeks. But I do want to do the front-end conversion to convert it to the 2008 to 2015 front end. But again, not my worries right now. I just bought it and I'm young and I am broke. So I don't have a lot of money. But I do want to put a small lift on it. I want to do at least a 2 to a 4 inch lift, just to raise it up a little bit. It's level right now because of the way that it's parked on in the grass, but when this thing is on flat ground, the rake this thing has is insane. The front end looks like it could be scraping the ground while the rear end has this much tire gap. But the way that it's parked right now, I don't know if you can really tell, but it levels it out. But I do want to get a 2-inch lift for the front so it'll level it out, or maybe a 4-inch lift all the way around. It's going to have limo tint literally from here back. So all of these rear passenger windows are going to be completely blacked out, so you won't be able to see the inside. Some of them might even be blocked off by the interior that we build. But all of those are going to be completely blacked out. Side steps, I'm not sure if I want to have any yet, but I'm thinking if I do, I'm just going to have the matte black, just single step for each door, not this entire diamond plate. It looks like shit. But anyways, I'm going to do the diesel thing. I'm going to get a big ass tip, big ass polished tip. I'm probably going to do an axle dump so you can just still see it, but it's not going to be like extremely visible. Since I don't want to use this thing as an off-road vehicle, I'm not really looking for mud tires. It's going to see a lot of highway miles. I want to get street wheels for it and a street tire setup. So you see all of these mall crawler Jeeps and trucks and lifted vehicles that never see a speck of dirt. It's pretty much what this is going to be. I mean, I'm a ricer with this thing. Sorry, but I'm probably going to rice this thing out too. I'm thinking about getting some 22x14 American Forces or specialty forged, but I've been looking for wheels right now. I found a few sets that I like. I really like the concave series, but again, I don't want to spend the same amount of money that I bought the van for on a set of wheels, so that's still in the works. The main purpose of this build is to be usable. It's not meant to be anything show, it is meant to be used. Of course, in the future, I want to be able to show it. I would love to have it on the 4x4 conversion and have a big lift kit on it with all this fancy shit and have it completely repainted and just be perfect. But as of right now, it is meant to be my daily / work vehicle that I can use. So I am going to put the roof rack and all of this usable stuff on it, but I am still a ricer stance aesthetic person, so I am gonna do a small lift on it with big flashy wheels because I think that would look super badass. So just imagine it has the 22x12 or 22x14s, I don't know, whichever one I can find a deal on best, but polished or chrome American Forces or specialty forged wheels. And then I was thinking something that I've been wanting to do with my car is I've been thinking about doing a livery design, just mixing up with a different color to give something else to my car. So my car, imagine the same kind of livery design on the van, this thing lifted on the badass wheels, and then this thing on a trailer being towed behind it. I just personally think that that would be extremely badass, but that's just me. If you haven't already, go watch the build series on this. We're still uploading videos to that, but I just wanted to take a break this week to explain this because this is new and exciting for me. But if you haven't already, go watch the build series on that. I'm proud of those videos. I hope people like them. Examples will be throughout the entire video of what I envision, and I hope that you can kind of piece those examples together and get what this thing is going to look like, or at least a rendition of it. Yes, I did copy Haggard Garage and Orion's idea, but it was such a good idea. It is a cheap diesel tow vehicle that will be able to easily tow my car and another one if I want it to. And that's just the fucking goal. I even found trucks by the time I was done looking at this that I was like, okay, I could probably end up getting that. But then I got so stuck on the idea of a van and being able to live out of it when I go to events and saving on hotels or cabins or whatever the fuck that we stay in. It just seemed like the obvious option. Now I'm going to be able to take this thing farther and go to events that I never could have before. So I am super excited on it. I hope you guys can see the vision that I have. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video and you give it a thumbs down, explain why. Please go in the comments, tell me what I can improve on and why you gave it a thumbs down. I'm stealing that from you, Caleb. It was such a good idea. I really respect the ability to say, if you give me a thumbs down, tell me why, because nobody wants a thumbs down on their video. But if you do, just give me constructive criticism. Tell me what I can do better. I know I'm awkward on camera. I'm not the best at it. I don't do this for a living, but that is hopefully the goal in the future. But if you do like the idea of this build, or if you like the idea of this build or other builds that can come in the future, because I have a daily now and I can actually start getting stupid stuff, like, you know, maybe if I find an MR2 that's been wrecked, or I don't know, just something that I can rebuild on. Like, I can actually get it now because I have a daily and I have my show car and I have the ability to trailer stuff now. So this really does open a lot of opportunities, and I hope that people can see that. But if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Tell me why. If you wouldn't mind, please subscribe. I'm trying to make videos once a week. If I can get a bigger following, I'll upload more. But as of right now, while I'm working and doing everything, once a week is all I can really do. But I hope you guys are excited for this build. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.
Once was a killer and I got a bunch of clips. Run up in your shit.